Hello and welcome to Karmatic Mushroom, and today's story is a sad one posted by Squirrel Neurons, who writes, "My boyfriend was murdered, only to find out in casual conversation 2 months later, and only got the full story and date of death 6 years later." She says, "We were in different countries, and his work often took him to remote areas, so when he didn't reply to my messages, I initially thought it was nothing. I was doing an interpretation job with someone from his hometown when I asked about him during a break, and was told completely casually, 'Oh, he's dead.' It took years to build up the courage to ask someone with contacts with the authorities to find out the whole story, including the date of death. It's been weird. I don't know how to deal with it. The whole mourning process got flipped on its head, and I just wanted to say something." Grizzly Gladiator 9 asks if you're comfortable sharing what happened. Squirrel Neurons replied, "We met not long after he had broken up with his prior girlfriend. It was a mutual breakup. Not long after the breakup, she found out she was pregnant. In their society, single motherhood is not shameful, so they discussed and agreed that he would be part of the child's life, and also financially supportive, but that it wasn't a reason to get back together. Not long after we met, we fell for each other. After a few months, we were even seriously discussing marriage. Then summer came, a bit less than a year after we had met, and it was radio silence. Now, he lived in an area where the moment you get outside of the cities, cell network dies. I was used to this, so not hearing from him for a few weeks wasn't a shock. When it crossed the month line, I began to get concerned. I assumed he had broken his phone or something, but I was still worried. This happened before, but it always freaked me out a bit as I'd been ghosted by a boyfriend in the past. Meanwhile, a friend of his was telling me that he must just be away from him. I later found out the friend was just too much of a coward to tell me the truth. I'm still angry with him. Ran into him recently, and it took a lot of self-control to not punch him. A couple months after he stopped responding, I was working an interpreting job for someone from his home region and in a similar line of work. During the break, I asked if my boyfriend had had a new number. My client, of course, did not know that my boyfriend was my boyfriend and just said, 'Oh, he died a couple months ago.' Talk about a punch in the gut. It took a while to get the full story as I just didn't know who to ask. But apparently, not long after the ex had her baby, she reached out and told boyfriend he needed to get back together with her because they had a baby. I don't know if it was stress or postpartum stuff or whatever, but she was absolutely insistent. Boyfriend stood firm, reaffirmed that he was going to be a dad to the kid, but would not marry her. So one day, while he was at a casual business meeting in a tea shop, her brother snuck up behind him and stabbed him. Apparently, grabbed him by the hair and stabbed him through the back and into the stomach. Boyfriend turned around and got stabbed around a dozen times. According to the police report, he successfully ran away and died on the way to the hospital. I didn't find out because I was in another country, and the one friend of his who had a completely reliable way to reach me was a f***ing coward." The top comment on this post was, "Don't forget, she also lost her brother and her kid lost an uncle. Some people never think things through." What do you think? Leave a comment down below. And subscribe if you want to hear more incredible stories from the Karmatic Mushroom. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.